Namaste to all GVNs. Myself GVN Dr. Khushbu Verma from Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science. Today we will discuss about plant tissue culture applications. So there are so many applications related to plant biotechnology and plant tissue culture especially, and because of this technique we can conserve the germplasm, we can conserve the endangered plant species, we can enhance the secondary metabolite concentration easily. So there are development of superior cultivars through the plant tissue culture technique, means germplasm storage, soma clonal variation, embryo rescue, ovule and ovary culture. We can do anther and polar culture, and we can develop the haploid plants and callus and protoplast culture. We can done protoplasmic fusion. We can done in vitro screening and multiplication. We can done. And tissue culture applications involve basically haploid and diploid plant production, soma clonal variation. We can done germplasm preservation. We can done. Here are the basic steps of micropropagation, which I have been explained in my previous sessions. And if we talk about the features of micropropagation, so there are clonal propagation, and which is the way of maintaining heterozygosity. Multiplication stage can be recycled many times to produce an unlimited number of clones, and easy to manipulate production cycles, and disease-free plants can be produced. Microcutting propagation, it involves the production of shoots from pre-existing meristems only, and it requires breaking apical dominance, and this is a specialized form of organogenesis. These are the steps of micropropagation which I have been explained in my previous session. And if we talk about the comparison of conventional and micropropagation of virus indexed registered red raspberries. So here we can simply see that in the conventional method, duration of propagation is 6 years, but in micropropagation it will be reduced for 2 years. If we talk about the labor charge or labor work, so dig and replant every 2 years, unskilled, inexpensive, we need laborers. But in micropropagation subculture, every 4 week and skilled, we are basically this is more expensive in the term of labor. If we talk about the space, so space need more in conventional, but in micropropagation it will be less, and required to prevent viral infection. So in the conventional there is screening, fumigation, spraying, but in the micropropagation there is nothing. And ways to eliminate the virus, basically heat treatment, meristeming, and not all cells in the plants are infected, so adventitious shoot formed from single cells can be virus free shoots. And if we talk about the flow chart, so here we can see simply, and there are two types of embryogenesis: somatic embryogenesis, indirect somatic embryogenesis, and direct embryogenesis. So indirect somatic embryogenesis involve the steps like, first of all we will collect the explant, then callus embryogenic, and maturation and germination. Next application is plant germplasm preservation with the help of plant tissue culture technique. We can develop DNA banks. And if we talk about the plant conservation, so we can do in vitro collection of endangered plants, and basically we can collect plants in large number. About the cryopreservation, I have told you in my previous session. What is epigenetics? So the study of gene regulation that does not involve making changes to the sequence of the DNA, but rather to actual bases within the nucleotide and the histones. Three main mechanisms for regulation are CpG island methylation, acetylation and methylation of histones S3, and the production of antisense RNA. Soma clonal breeding procedures involve the use plant cultures as starting material, apply selection pressure to culture, and regenerate whole plants from surviving cells. Requirements for soma clonal breeding: it involves the effective screening procedure, clear objective. Here here are embryo culture uses. So rescuing interspecific and intergeneric hybrids, production of monoploids we can done. We can develop haploid plant production with the help of plant tissue culture technique also. We can done somatic hybridization with the help of protoplast culture. In the somatic hybridization technique, we can, first of all, we will isolate the protoplast of two different species and fusion of protoplast of desired species and varieties, identification and selection of somatic hybrid cell, then culture of the hybrid cell and regeneration of the hybrid plant. Protoplast isolation can be done by two methods, mechanical and enzymatic method. Here is the complete detailed chart which I have been explained in my previous lecture. Enzymatic method is good, is better in comparison to mechanical method. If we talk about the protoplast fusion to make hybrid, there are two types of fusion. First is spontaneous and second is induced fusion. In spontaneous fusion, it subdivided into two types, intraspecific and intergeneric, and in induced fusion, it will be by chemofusion, mechanical fusion or electrofusion. Now come to the uses for protoplast fusion. So basically combine two complete genomes. It will create in vitro fertilization, partial genome transfer, genetic engineering and transfer of organelles. What are the advantages of somatic hybridization? So production of novel interspecific and intergeneric hybrids like pomato have been developed with the help of potato and tomato, and production of fertile diploids and polyploids from sexually sterile haploids, triploids and aneuploids. Transfer gene for disease resistance, abiotic stress resistance, herbicide resistance and many other quality characters. Production of heterozygous lines in the single species which cannot be propagated by vegetative means. Studies on the fate of plasma genes and production of unique hybrids of nucleus and cytoplasm. So this is the sum up of this session, and this session is powered by Digital Version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. If you have any query, then mention in the comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you.